Several of the listeners have been sending in this tweet from Inside the Ropes. One WWE veteran thinks Rhea Ripley needs to, quote, get rid of all that goth stuff in order to appear more beautiful. Do you know anything about this before I click on anything here?
I saw, well, he trended briefly over this. It wasn't a positive trend. It was one of those negative trends. But our old friend SS trended over this opinion of his. So go ahead. I'm familiar, but I don't know if I know all the quotes.
Well, Jim, I have the article here from Inside the Ropes by Sandra Ruth. Veteran claims, that's a name I hadn't heard before, so I don't know why that made me laugh. Veteran claims WWE needs to show what a beautiful woman Rhea Ripley is. And this is quotes from a Vince Russo interview or show of some sort. So now you're getting into that Roman...
Public display, perhaps, might be a better way to term it.
So now you're getting into that Roman Reigns area again. I would do it, bro. If the plans were to slowly but surely turn Rhea Ripley babyface, get rid of all that goth stuff. Let's really see what a beautiful woman she is, if that were the plan. If she is the heel WWE Women's Champion, I mean, what are we going to do? Have Becky beat her? Like, how many times are we going to go back to that well? And it's not Becky, then who is it? I believe Rhea Ripley can beat Charlotte Flair. Rhea Ripley is a beast. She is a big woman. I believe...
She's just plain large.
I believe that if she beats Charlotte, I believe it. But my problem really is, bro... It says, comma, bro, comma, just for the record. But my problem really is, bro, which is the right way to do it.
I wish they'd put bro in a coma, not a comma, but go ahead.
So now you would have Rhea Ripley as a heel champion. And then because she is bigger and just more impressive than the other girls, you know, we've got the Candice LeRae's and we've got the Alexa Blisses and we've got these girls that, like, Rhea Ripley would kill them. I'm not exactly sure what his point is, other than...
There's a bunch of them. It looks like a porcupine. They're all in there, but they're so fucking hidden, he can't come to one and settle on it. Well, is that the quote?
That's everything I have here in this article.
Okay. Well, first off, I think let me get out my stupid to English dictionary. He's obviously trying to say in part that, yes, Rhea Ripley looks like she could and probably could and definitely should kill little Alexis Bliss and little fucking Rebecca of Donnybrook Farm or whoever the fuck else. But let's not bury the lead. Needs to get rid of all the goth stuff. He thinks everybody should look like his plastic idol Sable did in 1998. He's scared of an actual star-looking woman. Rhea looks like she might be a little too me. He thinks they won't accept her as a baby face because she's got that look is why they're accepting her now. Because it's not only more modern, but it's also different, and she looks like she needs to be in an action movie. She's not out there like Carmella or Alexa or Myrna or whoever the fuck else all look like Hawaiian Tropic swimsuit suntan models or whatever. And there's no problem with being that, but I don't buy them to wrestle. I buy them to tan and wear bikinis. Just like I bet you that there wouldn't have been a lot of fucking market for the fabulous moolah in the bikini and tanning lotion industry.
Oof.
But yeah, think about that. But once again, dipshit, he brings up the perfect point of why so many potential good talents get disrupted. Because he wants to take someone that changed herself from that look that looked like everybody else into somebody that looks completely different and is a more unique personality. And also he overlooks, I mean, this is the guy whose favorite female talent on the roster was Sable. So let's examine this. Rhea Ripley, as we mentioned, not only one of the best female workers, works better than some of the men. She works like one of the guys. Point in her favor. There's a 10. What does Sable get? A 0. She couldn't work at all. Never wanted to learn, refused to try. Promos. Rhea Ripley, one of the best female promos, better than a lot of the men. Sable, couldn't say suey if the hogs had her. That droning Stepford wife nasally tone with no emotion. Because she didn't believe it, she didn't care about it, she just wanted to be on television. Ripley gets a 10, Sable gets a 0. Looks. Besides the fact that Sable was older than she admitted, and as we mentioned, did have the Shar-Pei puppy thing going on, can anybody stand there and say that Sable at 30 whatever years old she was in 1998 is more stunning, more movie star lookish than Rhea Ripley as she is right now at not even 25 years old in this day and age, and going to get better? So, but that's what, I mean, he'd have old Rhea wearing white cotton panties if it was up to him and the other Vince. So that's why he trended on Twitter, was because people actually were rightfully gobsmacked and verklempt that you would want to take the one person that's getting over and then change everything that caused them to get over. But then I realized that's what they did in OVW when they brought guys up. That's what they did when they brought guys up from NXT. And apparently Dipshit thinks this would be a good idea to just make her another face in the crowd also.
You know, it would be one thing if you were saying, I wish she hadn't gone as far as she has with the goth stuff. Because, you know, now there's a lot more tattoos and everything than they used to be. I don't know if tattoos are considered goth stuff. But other than that, it's a piercing and makeup and an outfit. But she has. You can't go back now. What is she going to be, a beauty queen now? After this gimmick, she's a beautiful woman. But she's made this her own. It went from, oh, Rhea Ripley's kind of trying to be Mad Maxine, to no, she's become her own thing.
Yeah.
This is just the way it is. She's really good.
So, you know, but if people wonder why, because dipshits like that don't understand what it's like to be a talent or be a performer, they think that they're the important ones, the people that feed them what to say. And the problem, they're scared, actually. The writers are always scared of a performer that knows what he's doing, because he can say shit better than they can write it for him. And if he can wrestle and they can't, well, fuck, what good are they? That's the problem. If you have talent, you don't need writers. And with talent like this, we don't know, because she's never been in a position where she's been allowed to actually go out and ad lib and cut promos off top of her head. But I would bet you, as dedicated as she's been to everything else, every other facet of her game, she could probably do that too.
On the issue of size, you know, Rhea Ripley is not a Alexa Bliss or a Candice LeRae or any of the women. Whether you're a fan or not, they're smaller women. She's bigger. Bianca Belair bigger. When I say bigger, they look athletic. They look like they kick your ass in volleyball or basketball or whatever it may be. They're going to kick your ass. What do? I mean, you can't just... You do need some smaller people. You can push the right smaller person, but you can't just sign women who are... Or can you? Women who are 5'9", 5'10", and up with muscle mass? I mean, what do?
Well, no, you can't make hard and fast rules like Johnny Ace was trying to do with the guys. Well, everybody's got to be 6'2" and 225 or whatever. But you can certainly, you can limit the, they're still signing girls, let's face it. Liv Morgan wouldn't have a job. Alexis Bliss wouldn't have a job. A couple of these other minute, Carmella, seriously, if they weren't signing girls more because they're attractive than because they're wrestlers. And there's got to be some fucking limit. No, Ronda Rousey's not 6 feet tall, and she doesn't, you know, have the lat spread of Raquel Rodriguez or whatever, but the people knew she was legit as a shoot. because she's a master in judo. Bianca Belair's not 6 feet tall, but she's probably got a pretty good bench press. We've established, her constant cheery demeanor notwithstanding, that she's an athlete. So it has to be on a case-by-case basis. And, and Shayna Baszler is not very tall, and she's a little dumpy, but she's a shooter. She could technically do these, but she's not a main event girl either, because she doesn't have the personality or the promo or the look. But it's not like you shouldn't not sign her. But I don't see any reason for somebody that, especially with the supernatural bullshit with Alexis Bliss or the whole Liv Morgan, I'm crazy, so even though I'm literally a Fabergé egg, I'll sell nothing and act like I'm crazy because they want me to be hardcore. That's just phony, and that's why the people, know it. There's a bunch of guys, very lonely guys, that put all these girls' pictures up as their Twitter profile or on Facebook or whatever. There's more male wrestling fans of female wrestlers now than there ever has been before, and that still ain't a lot of fans. But if you're going for trying to draw some money with the top girls, you're talking about your Charlottes and your Beckys and your Biancas and your Rheas and a very few rarefied air up there.